Hi, everybody. Welcome to Domain Sherpa. We've got a wild Domain Sherpa coming up today. We've got Braden, Shane, and Drew on the show, and we get back to the domain game with yieldfarming.gg, croissant.com, opencontainer.com, and pinetrees.com. Then we've got the NameJet Gonna Jet segment, sponsored by NameJet, and we talk about some domains coming up for auction, such as petmedicines.com, ramekin.com, electrico.com, and mylist.com. We also talk about the recent expiration and drop of NOAA.com, which was a domain previously belonging to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, which then leads to an interesting conversation about the value of traffic and traffic generated via domains containing misspellings of popular terms and brands. And also, as usual, big shout out to Dan.com, the #1 place in the world to buy and sell your domains with a special platform made for domain investors. With all that, it's time to get into this episode of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. So let's go. What's up, Sherpa Network? Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Jonathan Tenenbaum, a.k.a. JT, a.k.a. Jay On, and I am the host and producer of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. We've got a great show on tap today. Before we get into all of that, it's been a really crazy week and whatnot here, just in the world, and we're not a political show. We're not a, we keep it pretty light, and we will do that on this show, but, just want to let everybody out there know, we're thinking a lot about what happened in Texas. Those 19 students, those 2 teachers, an absolute heartbreaking tragedy. Never want to get numb to those kinds of things as those things happen. And, again, it's been on our thoughts, our minds. And so just want to acknowledge that and kind of let everybody know. And also to Riz from rooted.com and Empire Domains, who was a member of the domaining family and in this domain space, tragically passed. And so we're also thinking a lot about him and his family. So anyway, like I said, we're going to keep it light. We're going to get into what we do and all of that stuff. But, we're humans living here in this crazy world, and, just aware of these, these kinds of things, and just to let everybody know. So, all right, but I will switch gears and kind of lighten it up. So from here, let's get it moving into what we typically do. Today is a Domain Sherpa review, where we get into the minds of successful domain investors using real examples so we can learn strategies and tactics to become more successful domain name investors ourselves. These are the experts, the guys on this show. As you know, you've seen them on this show hundreds of times, the best of the best. Personal friends of mine, and and I'm excited because I'm looking forward to just spending some time with the homies. So with that, let's go ahead, and there's 4 segments to the Domain Sherpa review. We got the grand opening. That's where I'm going to intro the Sherpas, see what's going on with them, talk about some related things, some unrelated things. Then we'll do the domain game. The domain game is back. That's where we'll hear about what the Sherpas have recently bought or sold. Everybody guesses. We keep score, and we give out some swag to the winner. Eventually, swag will come. I've actually got, speaking of swag, I've got some Bored Ape swag here that finally arrived. But we've got the Ape In swag coming. We got some more media option swag that's going to be, we're playing Santa Claus next week.
Don't play with us.
It's going to happen. It's happening, I promise.
Not coming.
It's happening. And then after that, we're going to get into NameJet Gonna Jet, sponsored by our friends at NameJet. We review a list of domains coming up for auction. We find out what the Sherpas like, what they don't like. And then last but certainly not least, we'll get into grand closing, where we discuss anything we haven't covered already, looking at the domain space, the market trends, current events, and allowing the guests to talk about, promote anything that we haven't already discussed. Also, big shout out to Dan.com, our lead sponsor, with their domain platform, talk about the best of the best for domain investors to buy and sell domain names. So, big shout out to them. So, let's go ahead, and then I'm going to introduce the Sherpas. I'm going to go around in order as usual. I got my boy to my right, Shane Cultra, a.k.a. Sugar Shane, a.k.a. Honey Shane, a.k.a. Mike Rowe, a.k.a. the Cultivator, a.k.a. the Culture Personality, right? A.k.a. House of Shane. You know what I'm saying?
We got the leader of the Culture Club.
I had Culture Club. It's on my list, man. It's on my list. I wasn't going to use it, though. I'm trying to not, I don't want to do 20 of them. Anyway, what's going on, man? How are you?
It's great. It's been fantastic. Yeah, so many things going on. think I announced it before. I'm a proud papa. My daughter's getting her PhD at Princeton University. Paid for it herself. Got a big endowment. Super proud papa. You got a couple things in life. You hope to get your kid off and through college, and then you hope to have them find that special person and settle down and relax. We ain't gotten to that second stage yet, but it seems like the university and college thing's going well. So
that's awesome, man.
All is good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in light of everything, I mean,
congrats,
it's like,
brother.
Yeah, I mean, those are the things that matter. That's why we put in all the time, all the work, all the effort. And so yeah, congratulations, man. That's awesome. So
yeah, no, it's kept us smiling. Just like you talked earlier, you can't take things for granted. All this stuff, when we all talk, it's really not as much domains anymore. We've been friends for over a decade, all of us. So when we talk to each other, there's domains is the basis, but hell, 90% of the stuff we talk about is just our families and what we're doing and having fun. So I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place, and that's where I hope to stay there. So
awesome,
yeah,
dude.
all is good.
All right, cool. All right, then continuing to move it along down to my lower right, we got the man Andrew Rosner, aka Morpheus, aka the Dirk Diggler of Domains, aka the Sniper Bob Lee Swagger, aka every Rosner has its thorn, aka never gonna give Drew up. Right? Let's get Rick rolled in this piece. What's up, man? How are you?
Oh man, I'm living. I'm living.
All right. So
he's got books now.
It's all good.
Look at the back. There's
good.
Books up there.
I've had books. I've always had books. But what I do have is my dear friend Vanessa. Shout out Vanessa. Gave me this amazing Bitcoin sign for my desk, but it doesn't really show up in the. You can't really see it in the camera.
All right. Looks good though. I like it, man. That's we getting fancy up in here.
Yeah, it's like the bat sign. You know what I mean? If you see me on the show and I got the light on, it's buy time.
It's like Krispy Kreme donuts.
Get out
When
the
the light is on, the donuts are ready.
Yeah. Let's go. All right, well, dope. That's what's up. The books. It's funny. I caught up with Drew earlier. You see, he's got the Lauryn Hill album on the back. I mean, Drew was kind of in a pretty bad mood, and but we got into a music conversation talking about our, the best hip hop albums of all time. We're not going to get into that conversation here. We're going to save that for a different show. But that was a vibe, though. You know what I mean? I got some thoughts on that. Now I got a doc, and I got my list.
I'd like to see the person that tries to deny that the Fugees album wasn't a great album. Come on.
It's on my list.
No, the score is
on my list.
It wasn't on the original top 10, and then that got bumped right into the middle of that top 10 list.
It's on my list, man.
Then we're all good.
It's classic.
Yeah, the score's on there.
Classic. Yeah. So anyway, but like I said, now is not the time for that, because that could be its own show all into itself. So I'm going to keep it moving. Below me in the Bugatti right now, we got my boy. It's not a Bugatti, but it looks dope though, man. I like the whole vibe. You got a little sun, you know what I'm saying? You got that whole West Coast vibe going on right now from the car. You got Braden Pollock, aka Tony Stark.
State troopers coming up behind you.
Aka Benjamin Button. Aka Eat, Bray, Love. Aka Jason Statham, who's like, if you remember, like he was the driver in like a lot of those, like, when he kind of got his jump off thing in the beginning.
Always saving your kid for you.
There you go. So that's it, man. So anyway, Braden, what's happening, dude? How are you?
I'm recovering from COVID.
Oh man,
man, I went over 2 years, man. I avoided it, and then the last couple of weeks, like, I got to get out, see my friends. I started doing lunches. I went to a wedding. I went to a birthday party, and then immediately, boom. Like that.
It's really interesting, because, I've heard that happen to a handful of folks recently where, they had avoided it through the whole, and I think there's obviously better to get it now than in the beginning, right?
Oh, no question.
This
variant's not as bad. Plus we've got remedies. Like I took Paxlovid, and quickly recovered. So this is.
Would you attribute any turnaround from that though? I've heard very mixed results from intelligent people that have like sort of had A/B testing like in their immediate family of, and similar outcomes of those who took it and didn't take it. But it's sort of. But then there's other people that have been like, oh yeah, this. I took it and 48 hours later I was perfect, right? And
yeah, I took it, and by morning, by less than 12 hours later, I was already feeling. I had turned a corner, And this is what I've heard from everybody. And I'm in California. Governor Newsom just got COVID a couple days ago. They put him on Paxlovid. So I mean, everybody's taking it now, and I haven't read about anything negative related to Paxlovid.
Yeah, no, nothing negative. Just a question of, is it
worth it?
Yeah.
It seems like it's worth it. The problem is that the symptoms can just keep getting worse and worse and worse, and you don't know. Yeah. So, kind of want to nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
So this is the morning of day 4. I got it. I woke up with a Saturday morning. This is now Tuesday morning, and I turned a corner yesterday. My fever dropped. I was up to 103. My oxygen levels were low, and then as of yesterday afternoon, everything was kind of.
What'd your oxygen get to?
90.
Okay. Yeah. My lowest I think was 91. Yeah.
You had COVID, Drew?
Yeah.
Oh,
but I had it right before Christmas.
Huh. I didn't even remember that.
I got a big trip coming at the end of June. I'm like, shit, I haven't gotten it yet. And everybody, like our town is just inundated. I went to go record a commercial and they're like, 8 of the 11 people that work here have COVID. And you know what I said to her? I go, oh, it sounds like next week's going to be awesome though, because everybody will be through it.
Yeah.
You might as well get it all done at the same time. But all I can think of is, man, I can't. You know how that goes. Like you get it right before something special. It's like a zit before your prom pictures.
I've been pretty deep down the rabbit hole in like economic data and trying to sort of wade through the chaos and the bullshit narratives and, trying to understand really where are things at. And there was one number that really stood out to me that I thought was pretty disturbing and interesting. And that was that it's estimated that about 2.5% of the entire United States workforce defined as people who are willing and able to work. Okay. 2.5% of the United States workforce, employable workforce, is currently unable to work due to long COVID. 2.5%, with an average, I think it was, I don't remember if it was 3 or 5 months of duration on average.
I know people that have long COVID.
That's pretty significant. 2.5%.
And they're fucked up.
2.5% of the workforce being, I mean, you know what I mean? Like I think we have 3.5% unemployment, which is like a record low. 2.5%. Like if we went from 3.5% unemployment to 6% unemployment, that would be like, we'd be like, alarm, and that's basically where we're at. That's basically where we're at, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, the long hauler situation with COVID is pretty scary. I mean, that's always been something I think is, there's just such a lack of understanding, and it seems pretty, and it's a combination of physical and mental.
Before, like there are people getting it, but not nearly what it was the first round. Like
Well, I think this goes back to what we were saying in the beginning, where I was saying it's obviously much better to get it now than in the beginning when we obviously the treatments weren't where they needed to be. We didn't know enough about it. The testing.
Does anybody remember the reaction I got from Braden when I suggested that it was better to get COVID now?
Yeah.
When was that? Earlier?
That was like probably.
Let's play that tape back.
Yeah, play the tape back, Billy.
Billy, take it back. Take it back.
Turn the light on. Turn the light on.
Actually,
I'm going to be walking the coals like 2 weeks after you lit the fire. Hey, this isn't so bad.
I think we actually edited out that entire conversation because it got very heated, and it was right at the beginning of the show, and it like basically it was like so off track that I think we had. I don't remember. It might be in there. I can't remember.
I'm
going to guess that you said it's better to get it now, and I was like, "You're out of your fucking mind. Don't get it."
Yes.
Yeah.
That was exactly how that
everything you can not to get it, and I was like, "No. Actually, probably better to get it now because we don't know how it's going to mutate. And right now, if you get it, it's kind of like a fart in the wind." Now, obviously, if you're
Braden didn't like that fart in that wind.
Wait. Well, so I just want. So what are you saying now, Drew? That I was
for the record, right? I had this strain, right? The what do you call it?
The new one's Omicron.
The Omicron, blah blah blah, whatever it's called. So I had that. Yeah, I had that, and look, I got really sick for a day, and then let's say it took 5 days for me to go from 0 back to 100. maybe 6 days from 0 to 100. And then I got the flu about a month and a half ago. Like literally, it was influenza A, right? Standard fucking flu. I was so banged up. I was like, I couldn't even like move. I was just dead. Like literally, it was, I would say scale of 1 to 10, like 5 to 6x worse than COVID.
I'm going to pass on both of them.
How does that work on your scale of 1 to 10? You're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a multiple. But but anyway, all right, let's keep it moving. But yeah, I mean, look,
I want to know. So Drew, when did I say this and we disagreed? And I want to know your position.
This was
now.
probably, I'm trying to remember.
It was like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago.
It was probably January. It was probably January.
Oh, okay. Man, time is just.
It was probably January if I had to guess, because it was. I think it was
Braden
immediately
right.
after I had it. It was immediately after I had it, and yeah.
And so your position is what?
Yeah, what's the result? Are you saying Braden's right?
Was Braden correct? That's all. That's what the audience is asking. Was Braden's statement correct?
Okay.
In hindsight, even it doesn't matter if it's hindsight.
Yeah, it is hindsight. This is the best.
No, it's great. It's the
best view.
It's a very good question. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Look, I was Team Braden on that, and I'm still Team Braden. And I think that, I think at the end of the day,
Mrs. Hurd, did you give the money to charity or didn't you?
Yeah.
I pledged it. I pledged it.
I'm going to go actually out of the limb. I'm going to say Braden was right.
Yeah,
only because the newest versions seem to be.
Can we loop that? Billy, can we just loop that a couple
times? It's been a pleasure, everybody. We'll see you next week on Domain Sherpa.
Can I finish my sentence? Can I finish my sentence so we can move on? The only reason being that the new strains seem to really be immune avoidance. So they immune. I don't know how you say that. How do you say that? Immune avoidable, or they basically circumvent your immune system. And so having had it in the past doesn't really give you any additional immunity for the newest strains.
Braden was right.
And we have better treatments.
Yeah. I think the longer you can avoid it, the better. I have to travel as well. We got NFT NYC coming up, Ape Fest.
I mean, if you think you're not going to COVID at that, you're crazy. That's like,
I'm not
it's like, let's get locked in a warehouse with no windows with 10,000 people and, just breathe each other's juices.
That's like Syracuse graduation with 20,000 people in the Carrier Dome. I'm like, I'm going to watch it on closed caption.
Yeah. Carrier Dome's a great facility, though, man. I mean, that place is pretty awesome.
All right, let's talk domains.
Yes. Well, that's what I've been trying to get us off this COVID talk. We might have to cut half this anyway. People are going to be like, please give us a timestamp when you actually start discussing domains, which we probably will, just because we did cover a lot of ground before we got started.
And by the way, we've been on this call for 41 minutes.
Exactly. We've been on actually even longer because you cut out for a second, So, all right. So let's slide into the domain game, guys. All right. And Braden, I've actually got you on the list first. So let's go. Yeah, Braden. Well, we got to go in an order, actually. So you know what, Shane, you are upper right. So technically, you got to go first.
Yeah, I don't have anything good, but I'm getting offers on 3letter.coms. I also want to say, whoever bought waterplants.com, you got my name. Like, we sat there on, who in the world is buying waterplants.com but me? Like, it's a perfect name. I sat there on GoDaddy for hours, and he would do a 3-minute extend, a 5-minute, forever. Yeah. And went all the way from $2,000 to $11,000. And finally, I just gave up. I'm like, that's a lot of water plants to sell. So, but I mean, it's perfect. I sell water plants. They're shippable. It was a great name, but I missed out on that one. But I'm curious who got it, if somebody actually sells water plants.
All right. Well, let us know, whoever got it.
Yeah, no.
Show yourself.
It's somebody who wants to sell it to you.
Yeah,
this happens to me all the time. I'm literally in an auction for a cannabis related domain name, which I'm not even that bullish on anymore. And like, I'll be in it and I'm like, all right, semi-committed. I'll bid up to a certain amount. Then I get outbid. And literally before the auction's even over, the person who outbid me will contact me, usually on Twitter direct message, and say, hey, I got a great name for you. You want to buy this domain? And I'm like, dude, if I wanted to buy the name, I just outbid you. Like, you outbid me, it's yours now, right? And I just love to stick it to them. Like, now it's yours.
Yeah,
Now
they
you
don't know our
leave.
screen names. I don't think most people don't
now
know
you
my
just can't
screen
leave.
name.
Now you can't leave.
All right. Well, hey, whoever bought it, show yourself.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. It's yours now. So I bought a name that's something I'm really into, yieldfarming.gg. Yieldfarming.gg.
Yieldfarming.gg.
Unit.
And nobody texts me or messaged me about impermanent loss. Every time I mention that, they send me the definition of impermanent loss.
Can you what is the definition? Can you define it?
No.
Right.
But I can tell you this: that anytime you put up your coin,
keep sending it. It hasn't stuck yet.
Your coin could go down, and you're never going to get the money back by putting up your coin. Basically, that's what they're telling me: is you could have a loss, and the money that you make from the transactions could never pay for the loss you have in the underlying asset.
Yeah. That is pretty much what it is. It's the value of the underlying asset depreciates by more than the yield that you generate.
Shit. I have cryptocurrency in there. I have assets in no shit. That's like kind of the thing. That's why you're looking for stable coin. Like I look for coins that stay in a range. So anyway,
I had to go down the impermanent loss rabbit hole at one point because we actually talked about it on a show and we were referring to it as impairment loss or something. You know what I mean? And it was like somebody hit us up after the fact. They're like, "Hey, dummy," you know what I mean? Same kind of thing. They're like, get your learn on. I'm like, my bad.
Yeah. So what am I going to do?
We can't get away with shit on this show.
No. Hey, it's all good. Keep us honest.
Maybe you.
I'm just going to do. I'm going to be like the change machine at the.
It's been a long time since anybody challenged me.
Oh no.
That's what they say. That's what I told somebody. I said, man, what do you want me to just go play the change machine in Vegas? I'm broke even, man. I just keep putting in $1, getting out quarters. Putting in $1, getting out 4 quarters. Look at me. Haven't lost shit today.
All right. So yieldfarming.gg. All right. So the GG extension, we've seen that a little bit. I mean, gamers like it, right? Good game, all that kind of stuff. What is GG country code? Do we know offhand? Anybody? I mean,
I think it's like, isn't it like it's like Guernsey or something or
I have not visited it.
Isn't it GR?
It is Guernsey. It is Guernsey. Yo, what's up? Shout out to
Guernsey. What you talking about?
Where's
Guernsey's
where's Guernsey?
Yeah, it's a little island outside
Guernsey
of the UK.
is sort of off of Normandy, France.
Oh, it is? I thought it was out of the UK, no?
No. Well, yeah, it is. It's UK, but it's a Commonwealth.
It's in the English Channel off the coast of Normandy. You're right. It's in the English Channel off the. So we're both right.
Hey, GR is Greece, right?
Yes. GR is Greece.
GR is definitely Greece. That I know.
Guernsey.
See, there's so
Double
much information
G. Where'd they
here.
come up with that from?
Probably because I've actually wondered this a few times in my life.
I looked it up once too,
and I think it's because of Great Britain. Maybe that was the only thing I could come up with. It was like Great Britain and Guernsey, GG. I don't know, because otherwise there's no reason for it. It's 1G in Guernsey.
Well, big
and GR's gone and GY's
gone. You know what? I could also be Greater Guernsey because I believe. Without going into some details, because
you don't want to be associated with Lesser Guernsey.
Exactly.
Well, no, because
all my homies are from Greater Guernsey, dog. You know what I'm saying? North Guernsey represents. Stand up.
There's a few smaller little islands off of Guernsey that are also sovereign commonwealths that I believe are covered under the GG. So it's probably Greater Guernsey. Because all the infrastructure is in Guernsey, and then there's all these other smaller places.
We've actually had
and then there's 9 families out on the other islands.
Yeah, well, we actually had an interesting kind of went down the rabbit hole a little bit recently regarding Guernsey, actually, which is a whole different conversation and thing. But it's near Jersey and not New Jersey though. But just north of France in the English Channel, south of the UK. Closer to France and the UK, and there's a whole it's got its own sovereignty and all that stuff. It's pretty interesting.
So, fun fact. Do any of you know why Normandy is called Normandy?
I don't know how fun this fact is going to be.
That wasn't in Alabama grade school.
So Normandy is called Normandy because it's where the Norwegian Vikings came and raped and pillaged the French women and literally just took over. They just came in and they were like, all your women are now ours. And they
No
killed
offense,
the men.
but has anybody ever come into France and not taken it over? Come on.
But so they killed all the men that came in, raped the women, and literally started a new breed of people that were Vikings, migrated to France, mixed with the French women, and that became Normandy.
That doesn't sound like a good honor to honor.
Yeah, and that's not a fun fact. I mean, that's a pretty terrible fact.
There's no
actually,
fun
you know
in
what I'm
that.
saying? It's like,
So,
I mean,
all
I
right,
get.
so here's an even more fun fact. Do you know why Russia is called Russia?
No.
Because somebody was in a hurry to go.
Because it comes from the Scandinavian word Rus for red, which referred to the red hair of the Vikings that came in and did the exact same thing in Russia. And then literally they actually you know,
Are we going to have to hire a fact
became
checker for
Russians.
this whole show?
A fact checker, and we're gonna.
We-
Billy's gonna be
you know why
busy
we don't?
editing.
You know why we don't? Because Billy's going to cut all this shit out of it.
He's just like, it's a wrap. He's like, done. It's all on the editing room floor. All right. So yieldfarming.gg.
Yieldfarming.gg.
He bought
but
it.
the
It's a
Vikings
buy.
held it down. The Vikings spread that sperm all over the world.
Okay. And by the way, though, I did start watching that one Viking show on Netflix, which is pretty.
Oh my God, we're still going.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know. So, all right, let's.
What's the Viking show? I
There's
love
like,
Vikings.
there was the original Viking show on like FX, but then there was another show involves like
I'm going to
Leif
close my
Erikson-
eyes. Let me know when we get back.
Leif Erikson and
All right,
stuff.
we're back.
So.
My
Back,
COVID is
back.
getting
All right.
stronger.
Yieldfarming.gg. Shane purchased it. Drew, it is on you to guess what he bought it for.
I'm gonna say yield farming just because the topic's so hot. You know, assuming it was an auction, I'm gonna say $2,000.
Braden.
It's $350.
$350. Yeah, so I'm gonna split the middle because kind of
Loser.
Nah, I know, but I'm not doing it I'm not doing it to just get the point. I'm doing it because .gg is a little bit of it's an obscure extension, but not unused at all. So a little bit of demand there. I do think it is an extremely popular term. Yield farming is obviously really big. I do think that the .gg extension kind of fits okay with yield farming because we do see the .ggs landing in tech and, like I said, gaming and that kind of stuff. So, but I just don't think Shane would have ponied up 2 G's when he didn't put up all that money for water plants. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say 1,500 is kind of where. So I think there's value there, but I don't think he went crazy. So.
All right. Well, it was unopposed back order at park.io, $99.
$99 a Braden circle
know,
to square.
Damn.
I actually wanted to say $99, and I was like, nah, I'm going to go up.
I was
because
fully prepared
somebody
for it to go to
probably bid it.
auction. There's so much stuff that goes to auction at park.io that I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe that went through, and I picked it up. And
There's still not a lot of GG buyers. There are some if the term is good and yield farming is good, but put those two together, I don't see a lot of action on GGs, especially when it's not like king.gg or some like
everything
like
I pick up is like I picked up joe.gg, like short little something that people would use.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I think maybe maybe yield.gg, right? Almost more so than
or
even
farm.gg.
Or farm.gg, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
once you get into multiple
looking.
word GGs, I don't see them going up.
Unless it's like that yield
My
farming.
boy Mark Levine got
Maybe.
me Drew.gg.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out
Those
to
are the
Mark,
kind of
man.
names that will sell. And again,
Shout out to Mark.
$99. The return, I'm not worried about $99 in the scope of things. So,
But what if you have to renew it?
but then it sometimes doesn't get renewed. That's how it works.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people that doesn't just let shit roll for a decade. Now there are, I've owned Mookie Blaylock for a while since somebody gave it to me. But I forwarded
man.
to Pearl Jam because that was the name of their band before.
No way.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the name of Pearl Jam. Used to be called Mookie Blaylock. Then somebody, I should know, that's terrible. They gave it to me because I talked about that. And then now if you type in Mookie Blaylock, it forwards to Pearl Jam. So everybody thinks Pearl Jam is using their old name to forward to their site.
Oh, but so they think it's, yeah, okay.
They think that that's them doing it. But yeah, no, people
Blaylock,
give me gifts and I own
Atlanta Hawks.
Stupid ass names, but I don't give away gifts. I just eat the cost.
I wonder why Pearl Jam, he's because Mookie Blaylock was from Texas, played Atlanta Golden State Warriors, maybe. What was the
I don't know the history of why.
Where's Pearl Jam from? Aren't they from like Seattle up there?
Yeah, from that area. I'm not sure, but Eddie Vedder had a thing for Mookie Blaylock, so that's what he rolled with.
He was a good ball player, man. So
Yeah.
So. All right.
Anyway,
I remember him being a really good defensive player too. But
I just remember a guy named Mookie Blaylock. That's a hard name to forget.
Yeah. All right, cool. Drew, what do you got? Buy or sell? So the point goes to Braden. We will let's keep it moving.
All right, I'm gonna go with you want to buy or you want to sell?
Sell.
A sell.
Everybody loves sales.
So
yeah. All right. Croissant.com. Croissant.com. I never do sells, but
how many S's, how many T's?
Well, that's the fucking $1 million question, isn't it?
I'm actually out on this one. I've got some insight on this one. So
insider information, or you just love croissants?
I do love croissants, although I'm trying to keep my carbs down as we're approaching the summertime. You know what I mean? I've been keto only. All right. So so this is going to be a 2-horse race. Braden, you first, man. What do you think? What did he sell it for?
I think he sold it for this is a tough one. I don't think you got a ton for it because it's tough to spell. It's like your cappuccino sale.
Wow, you remember the cappuccino sale?
Dude, this is like a steel trap right here.
Yeah, Braden's vibing right now, man. Like he's got like a whole different vibe in the car right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, well, cappuccino.
He looks like a young Hasselhoff, a Knight Rider, actually. That's actually what I should have called you because by the way, that's another show.
He is. He's young Hasselhoff.
that's a show that's also on.
That's your new nickname, Young Hasselhoff.
Young Hasselhoff,
I'll take
AKA that, Young Hasselhoff.
He's still like a sex symbol in Europe. I mean, that dude's 11.
He was a pop star in Germany, man. I mean, that was like his.
Listen, he can be fat, old, and out of shape, and he can slap it on the table, and girls will line up.
Hassel the Hoff and Drew. We talked about this, man. HR. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got an HR department.
Listen,
he meant slap his pass.
I have a stated objective for the year 2022. And that is to be the world's greatest counterweight to political correctness.
Oh, no. Okay.
Hey, congratulations on your success.
By the way, I'm drinking kombucha. This is seltzer infused with kombucha. So I'm just saying.
When I was growing, I was
you know who drinks that shit?
Jesus.
Braden.
I'm just kidding. All right, Braden, go.
I was probably 11 years old, and Knight Rider was being filmed like 2 blocks from my house, and I hung out the whole time. I met David Hasselhoff. I got pictures with him. I sat in the car, the whole thing.
No, you didn't. You got to, what was the car's name?
Kit. Man.
Kit. And I'll tell you something else. They're on set. There were like 3 or 4 of them. There was a trailer just full of them. And I was like, why do you have that? And they said, well, because if one gets dinged, we still have to keep filming. So they have a bunch of them. So and they wreck them all the time. They constantly, whenever there's a jump and you see it's like gonna land, it's coming to the ground like this, and then it gets to this. Boink, boink, boink. It's like that thing is wrecked. They went through a ton of them.
So a few years ago, another fun fact.
This is all getting cut, by the way.
I tried to get Rally Road. One of the Kit cars from Knight Rider came up for sale. And I tried to get Rally Road to buy it, but they didn't do it. I also tried to get them to buy one of the original Oscar Mayer Wiener mobiles. Do you remember that thing?
I remember that was for sale.
Yeah, one of them came up like 3 years ago, maybe.
It takes you back, doesn't it?
God, great.
Greatest opening ever.
Oh my God. All right.
Well, what was that, like 40
Has
years
anybody
ago?
sampled that in like a hip hop
Yeah,
song?
you know, there was actually there was a remix. There was some
Probably.
rap song back in the day. I was actually thinking about this because this is what I was about to say. Their Knight Rider is on Netflix, so you can go and watch it from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah. So I started the
Oh,
other
I
night.
gotta get my son to watch that.
That's
He
what I
would
mean, but
love
he's
that.
gonna
Brady,
see the
man, you
tech
got
in
that
the
young
car and go,
Hasselhoff vibe. Like you know, like the leather. You know, if you had the leather jacket, man, his whole jam.
He's a vegan, dude.
What?
Come on.
Oh, you but you
It's
could wear,
pleather.
you could wear fake
Pleather.
leather. You know what I'm saying? Leather
pleather.
looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yo, have you seen the mushroom leather? That shit is dope.
Yeah,
it sounds wrinkly.
it is.
Is that
It
really a
is.
thing?
It's
No, it's
super
it's
dope.
pretty amazing. It's pretty
No,
amazing.
it's really remarkable stuff. It's like incredible.
Making purses out of it and stuff.
Oh, it's
Mushroom
Busta
Yeah.
Rhymes. Yeah, Busta Rhymes did a track over the Knight Rider beat.
Oh, I remember that.
Fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember
Buster,
that.
I saw
That
him on
was wild.
concert once. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, man, so much
Busta
energy.
was
Just
amazing.
a ball of energy.
All right, so
Busta Rhymes. He opened for David Bowie and then Moby. I mean, what a
Come
lineup!
on.
Oh, that's crazy.
What
Wait,
a
Busta
lineup
Rhymes
that was.
opened for David
David
Bowie.
Bowie.
That's crazy.
And David Bowie was opening for Moby.
That's
Yo,
crazy.
Moby was the
How nutty is
headliner
that?
of all that. That's
Moby's the headliner, and I asked. I don't mean to name drop. I asked Moby. I was like, "How did David Bowie open for you? Like, it's David Bowie," and he says, "We've been friends for 30 years or whatever." And I just asked him. He said, "Okay."
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, relationships. It's all about relationships. All right, so Croissant, by the way, is where we were before that.
yeah.
I'm gonna go with 95,000.
95,000. All right, Shane.
It's not gonna work, is it?
What was
Didn't
the?
work.
75K.
Oh, you wrote it down. All right, I like it.
Well, I didn't want to change my mind. I was gonna play honest.
Oh, that's where
work
you're
as
like,
well.
I wrote the number. I'm sliding across the table right now.
Yeah, exactly. This is what
okay,
I will
so-
offer you.
You got the under. I got the over. What is it?
So 60 grand.
Oh,
So-
Shane.
I felt it was light, but I just
But no one can spell it.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So here's the thing. So here's the truth. So a lead came in. Chris said, "What do you think?" I think I don't remember the race. 25. I think is where they started. I think I said 150, and then they went to 40 or 50 or so. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, basically, I said 75 was where I ended up. Is like I was like, all right, absolute best and final 75. And they came back and they said, look, we can go to 60, but we really cannot go any higher than that. And I literally went to go check what I paid for it in our inventory. And I literally couldn't figure out how to spell it. And I was like, you know what? Just sell this damn thing. I like, if I can't spell it, like nobody else can. Like, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to, you know what I mean? Like you literally would you'd be hard pressed to do much beyond like branding a bakery. But it turns out it's like a startup. And I was like, oh man, sorry to be the investors in that fucking startup.
Are you their spokesperson? Because if
Tough
not,
love.
you should be.
Tough love.
Hey,
How
listen.
long have you had it?
I
How long
don't
have you had
know.
it?
I don't know. A couple years, few years.
Like 3
Can we
years?
share can we share what you bought it for?
Let's see. It's in one of the legacy portfolios.
How legacy is if you had it for 3 years?
Yeah.
Well, no, you said I had it for 3 years. I don't know how long I've had it.
You
I'll
said-
tell in a
you said-
second.
All right, I'm
Few
gonna
years.
pull up.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
give-
I said a few. I'll tell you in a second. Just
You
hold
said
your
nobody
horses.
challenges you. I'm here to challenge you.
Yeah, this is
All
it. We
right.
got
I love
nobody's
it.
getting over on
It's
anything.
so good to
Well,
be
people
back in
challenge
here.
me on the show, but they don't challenge. No, like, I don't get fans like you said this, because
Oh, there it is. All
I
right.
go full Terminator on them. Yeah, I've owned it for 3 years.
Yeah,
Exactly 3 years, actually.
pretty close.
We've had it 3 years. We paid 10 grand.
So
That's
You
good.
know what?
Jeez.
That's solid, though.
What do we sell? What do we sell cappuccino for? I don't remember. Do you remember,
It was like
Mister? What did he call this? He said this is what does he say?
Steel
trap.
steel trap.
Steel trap. Yeah.
Yeah, but when
Um,
the trap's closed, nothing else comes in.
what did you sell cappuccino for?
let me see if we have it in the record.
How do you spell cappuccino? I can't even.
Is it Cap?
CAP.
Oh, yeah,
Gino.
here it is.
There's a U and a C and an I in there somewhere.
Yeah, I got it. Let's see. What do I have the sale?
I can't spell it. I literally can't spell it. I'm trying to look it up in our inventory. I can't spell it.
No,
Is
it's
it 2 P's or 1 P?
It's CAPPU. CAPPUC. I see it in the inventory as well, but we don't have the sale. Is the sales price?
No, it's not in the inventory. What are you talking about?
It's in the sold. It's in the
I'm
sold.
in full view all fields.
I think maybe it's still sorting by active or something, not sold. You gotta
Wait, wasn't it like 45 grand or something low?
I think it was 50 if I had to guess.
Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Well, Shane gets the point, and now we're up to you, Braden.
I actually think cappuccino's better than croissant.
Imaginary sweatshirt on the way.
Everybody,
Okay.
we're gonna give out digital wearables. Digital wearables.
I'm gonna put it right next to my Bored Ape hoodie.
Yeah, there you go.
The black one. No, the original one.
I've got the box.
Oh yeah, I got that too. The box is nicer than the stuff inside. I promise. The box is cool. I literally turned the box inside out and framed it and threw away the stuff inside. Yeah.
Yeah. A little unboxing for everybody. There's a sticker. It's got the. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep the boxes. We're gonna have to keep the boxes, huh?
Yeah.
Well, this is.
Is Bored Ape Yacht Club? Wait, is Bored Ape Yacht Club still a thing?
Yeah.
I got sweatpants.
Wow.
I got a mutant sticker. Let's go. All right. Sorry. So, what do you got, B?
Okay. All right. I got to sell
Okay.
I'm just gonna write it down right now.
OpenContainer.com.
Look at you playing Mr. Attorney.
Open
See,
container.
David Hasselhoff playing an attorney on TV.
OpenContainer.com. All right. And it was a sell.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, sell. Okay. All right. I was just thinking about a buy. Okay. A sell. What did Braden sell Open Container for? I mean, that's got to be one of the more lucrative areas of, defense.
This isn't it. Yeah, so I'm first.
What's that dinosaur bitch that pretends to be a senator? What's her name?
I'm not
Pelosi?
answering that.
What? Come on, man. Hey, come on. We don't.
No, come on. I don't care if you are, and I'm not Republican or Democrat, but that woman needs to go. Oh, I don't care who you are.
Didn't we just say didn't you
You're
just said, Drew, that let's not make this show political anymore. You
That's
just
not even
said
about
that.
politics. That's about the preservation of our nation. That's not even political. That's
Jesus, preserved
What
as
is this?
gets.
When you
yeah,
when
she
you
is.
say-
She's like a shark in formaldehyde.
I just want to point out you just said our nation, and you're sitting over there in
Yeah.
Portugal after
Well,
you moved
because
from Panama.
I saw the writing on the wall that
Okay.
we were gonna have the country was gonna be run by sharks in
Mhm.
formaldehyde.
All right, then maybe you don't need to worry about it.
Well, look, I think we can all agree that there's people on
I
both
can stop
sides
worrying
that
about
need to
when you
hang it
start
up.
sending me
So
a tax bill.
yeah, there's people on
Fair.
both sides that obviously, can be counterproductive at times. And this is my political, response as far as just trying to keep this thing moving along.
Anyways,
But
my point was that her husband just got busted, Open Container,
yeah,
drunk as
DUI.
fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, I am first. I'm gonna say 25,000.
Yeah.
25 G's. Yeah, because I think the name is probably not worth that, but I think Braden typically is, he's got diamond
Open
hands.
Container?
So and
I think you're low. I'm going
All right.
50.
Well, it's not your turn yet. We got to go in order.
Let him go.
He just took
I
his turn.
already-
It is now.
I wrote mine
It
down.
He
is
was like,
now.
"Hey, look,
Done.
this is technically my platform, my mic. I'm gonna say and do whatever I want, and it's fine."
And I already did mine. So I'm at 34K. I had to change.
All right, so 34K. All right, dope. And then Drew said 50K. So based off of some of what he alluded to before, just
What did we used to do back in the day? We used to have a piece of paper, right? What was that for this game, or what was that for? Remember, we used to have a piece of paper. We'd have to write it down, and you had to hold it up. You had to hold it up backwards so you see you weren't changing it while other people were saying.
Yeah, that was the original. That was the Siger version of it.
Yeah. But was that this game Siger version, or was that a
I
different?
think so. Yeah. I think it was the
All right.
same thing.
Well, all the guesses are in. Bets are in.
Oh yeah, because that avoided us playing the over/under game. That's right.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean that would be a way to kind of do that, to just
everybody write it down at the same time, and then
and once everybody has it down, then they can go, and then there's the that's an interesting way to do that.
Kind of like the Price is Right or something. That's not how they do that.
Yeah, well,
there's something where they write some game show where they write.
It's the Price is Right. You put in.
No, Price is Right. The people game it. They do the dollar. Because it's closest without going over or whatever.
Yeah, no, there is a show though where they do that. What is?
Yeah, there's a show where
Jeopardy,
they write
you
it
put
down.
your total in at before you answer the question.
Oh yeah, it's Jeopardy at the end on the final.
You write your number down. Before you start. Before you.
It's like how much you're willing to bet, right?
Yeah. Of your pool, and you have to kind of gauge it based on what everyone else and whether or not you think they're going to get it right. But you don't even get the question before you put your money down. You just get the topic.
There's some game show where they write down their answer, and then it's displayed.
That was Pat, or what's the one where they go? Amy says she.
That Family
Feud. Remember that? And then they'd all make up
Feud?
funny words. That was from I'm a little older. I think it was like not password.
You think Final Jeopardy? They definitely do that approach. They write their answer down, and then But all right,
okay.
Now we need.
All right, moving on. So I bought this name, I think, in 2008.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So it's like a 14-year-old. I've had a bin on this name, like most of that time. Maybe not the first few years I was probably using it, but I would say at least 10, 12 years. Last 10, 12 years I've had a bin on it, and it finally sold for $6,500.
$6,500. All right.
That's it.
It's not as lucrative as you think. It's like people usually don't get busted just for that. They'll get a DUI and then they'll also get an open container, right? Because they have an open, or I think if you're walking down the street drinking in an area where you're not allowed to have an open container, you can get busted for it. But these things get they get tossed, it gets pled down. It's not that significant. While it is a law, this is not the driver of an arrest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not lucrative. It's just
honestly,
it's what's called an enhancement. Usually an enhancement to an arrest.
At this point, that domain should almost be used for some, like a company trying to create actual containers, right? Call their open play off of the whole, open container as a sort of in the lexicon of people in general. That's a term they use. So maybe some kind of like a Yeti or something, you know what I mean? That type of deal. So
I don't know who bought it. But I mean, I bought it because it's related to DUI, and I used to have all those kinds of names. Mm-hmm. But I mean, my guess is it's a lawyer that, works on that stuff, but it's not
$6,500. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer for an attorney that at least brings in a few. Because I mean, I'm with you, especially if you're in beach towns and things where the people get cited and tickets for that. Maybe you get people from out of town, need to find out who can defend them. They go in, plead it out, all that kind of stuff, plead it down, whatever, and then but probably get
it's a ticket unless you got Andrew Miller's texting me. Can you have 5 minutes? No. It's a ticket if you're walking down the street. It's an enhancement if you're getting arrested for DUI.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. So, all right, well, look, right now it is I've got a point, Shane's got a point, and Braden's got a point. So we've got to go into overtime. Drew, we need a name from you.
Oh, I got it because I got to buy. I got to buy and a sell, so I got to buy now.
All right. I hope it's not. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. What is it? So I'm making sure I don't know it.
Pinetrees.com.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know about this one yet. All right. Cool. All right. So then in overtime, I don't know how you guys technically would go Braden, me, then Shane. Is that cool? We just do it that way, keep it in the same sort of order, or do you want to do it different or what? Do we do the write it down style, Final Jeopardy style? Should we all just write it down? I mean, I don't think Braden even has a pen in the Bugatti. Yeah. So I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Oh, I got a pen. What am I gonna do with it?
You got a piece of paper?
Yeah, Braden has to write it on his forehead.
He's gotta go.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, we're all going to write it down. All right.
It's a buy, correct?
And then we're all going to show it.
You have to write it mirrored on your forehead.
Does it have to be mirrored?
I got a gift certificate here.
No, because the blue looks
for
right.
Cafe Gratitude from our friend Aaron.
Big fan of Cafe Gratitude. Shout out Cafe Gratitude.
Shout out Cafe
from Aaron
Gratitude.
Shea Burger. Shout out to Aaron for the gift card. Thank you. I haven't used it yet. It's for my birthday.
I found an old card. Unexpected happens here in my back pocket. I don't know when I wore these plants last time.
All right.
You said plants. You meant pants, but you say
that's
plants
right.
so much.
I do say
Well,
plants.
They're made of cotton.
Okay, so this is a buy. Pinetrees.com.
Pinetrees.com.
Everybody wants to be Shane.
I was just gonna say this is like right up Shane's alley. You know what I mean? So
Come on, Shane's not selling. Well, I guess you sell Christmas trees.
No, I sell pine trees. I sell seedlings.
Oh yeah.
Like bare root seedlings. One of the most shippable things you got is pine tree seedling.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people
So
love
you're
them.
saying it's a business.
100% a business.
Okay. All right. I feel better about it now because I was like kind of like I don't really know what you're gonna do with it, but I was like,
No, that's what you do.
okay.
I mentioned Moby a little while ago. He like pine trees is his thing. He has a restaurant. Actually, he just sold it called Little Pine. He had in his backyard. He had a pool, concrete. So he tore it all out and planted just pine trees, full grown pine trees. So his backyard's a forest. Like he's just a nut for pine trees.
There's a place in
Ask him if he wants to buy pinetrees.com.
in Oregon.
I did.
It's called like Pine Tree Restaurant, and their main burger was called the Fur Burger. FIR. I had to order. I don't even eat meat, but I had to. I mean, I generally don't eat red meat, but I'm like, I'm gonna get the fur burger. You gotta get a fur burger.
all right. Does everybody have their number?
Yeah.
All right. So on the count of three, we'll put up our numbers and then we'll see who's the closest. If we're tied, we'll have to flip a coin or something. But all right, meaning if we pick the same number. Actually, you know what? So I'm going to do this to avoid that. All right.
It's hard to figure out like what it should sell for versus what it actually got overbid for.
All right.
Because everything just gets ramped up.
All right. 1, 2, 3. What do you got? I got. All right. Braden said 3K. Shane, what did you say?
5,800.
Oh, I went super high. I said 19,999.
Wow.
So
It's a buy.
yeah, I don't know.
It's
I
no
got.
sell.
You know what? Here's what it was. The way Drew was kind of like, yo, sell it to Moby like now sounds like Drew feels like he overpaid. There was like, wait, is this actually a business?
And he said, I don't know what I was going to do with this name.
There was a handful of comments that Drew made that made me feel like he paid more than he felt like he should have paid.
It's a plural. It's not singular.
Oh, Pine
Okay.
Tree would have been a whole nother ball game.
Oh,
All right.
pinetree.com would it be,
Yeah,
all right.
that's
If it was Pine Tree, I would have owned it.
All right. So Drew.
Something tells me though that this name was offered to Braden.
No, it was on auction. I
Yeah.
saw it.
I saw
Oh,
it too.
it was? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's on
I had
auction.
somebody actually bring it to me and offer it to me.
I thought it was.
I-
I thought I saw it go through Cito's list even.
Something tells me I'm not winning this. All right. So then you guys
Yeah.
have some insight. What's the
Well, other than we've
No,
seen
no,
it
I
before.
didn't see any. I don't remember what the numbers were. I just remember when it came up on auction.
It wasn't so low.
That's
It
it.
surprised me, and it wasn't so high. It surprised me. So that's.
I overshot it. All right. I think. All right. Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, no, you overshot like mofo.
All right.
Yeah.
So I bought it for $2,500.
Oh, okay.
There goes my
Boom.
imaginary sweatshirt.
There it is. Yeah. Wait, Braden, what was your guess? What were you?
3,000.
Oh, nice. And then Shane, you
I
were
was
5,800.
5,800. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
I mean, I thought at $2,500, it was like pinetrees.com, $2,500. Like, that's
Yeah.
a great deal. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it was like, that's a great deal. I'm not going to say no to that.
It's an okay deal. It's just
Yeah.
I think it's a tough sell. It's just kind of a weird name. I like trees.
Shane's going to buy it from me for $5,000 right now.
No, we'll go into business. I'll just.
Yeah, let's
I'll
go.
give you a Mr. Wonderful cut of every sale.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Royalties, baby. Mailbox money.
All right. So Braden, congratulations. Another win for you. That means more merch on the way. We're gonna
That
make
means never.
happen. It's coming. It's coming.
We're going to
You
have
actually
a
have
brand
merch.
called Pine Nuts.
You have merch.
I know it's going to be called Pine Trees at pinetrees.com. And we're going to sell
Yeah.
pine nuts. And it's going to be called Tease Nuts.
Braden, I'm going to get you a faux leather 8-inch jacket for you to ride around in. Young Hassel the Hoff. You know what I'm saying?
A
let's go.
mushroom
If
jacket.
you get it, I will wear it.
That's it. Let's go. All right. Well, congratulations. That's it for the domain game. Really quick, we're going to go jump into a commercial. And then when we come back, we'll be here we'll get into the name check and the jet segment, among some other things, here on Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. We'll see you in a minute.
Media Options is the industry's leading domain broker specializing in domain acquisitions, high-value domain sales, and domain name consultation. As pioneers and thought leaders on the subject of the domain aftermarket and domain name value, plus through their clear domain acquisition service, Media Options offers startups and established corporations an unparalleled scope of high-value domain options, providing access to domain names and curation technologies not available elsewhere. Media Options believes in the power of a great domain name and is dedicated to helping you obtain yours. Call or email today to put a domain to work for you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're here on Domain Sherpa. We just got done with the domain game. Braden won again. And now we're going to slide into the Namejet and a Jet segment, sponsored by our friends at Namejet. And we got a pretty good list today. I mean, well, you guys tell me what you think, right? So as those of you who know, so this is a bunch of names coming up for auction on Namejet. We have the detail sheet on the Domain Sherpa website. If you go to the blog page and pull the Excel sheet, you know, we've got a bunch of information on there. It's got the domain, it's got the Esteban appraisal, it's got how many back orders as of the time we tape, how many days left in the back order period before the name goes to auction as of the date that the show airs. The minimum bid, SERP, searches, CPC, and the link to the Namejet page itself. You know, there's no affiliate there for us guys. Like, you know, so you don't need to do the links through our site. They're really just there for the benefit of the audience. So, you know, just want to let everybody know. I mean, that the detail is there for y'all. Hopefully it helps. You know, also worth noting, these are all expiring domains, no reserve. But in order to participate, you need to have a bid in before the end of the back order period, which is identified on that sheet. You know, also we started tracking minimum bid because a lot of these names now on Namejet, we see a lot at $69 minimum, $79. This list actually, I think more than half are all $79 bids. So pay attention to that, because I know some people kind of go in and just use to the 69, and then you know, that would actually have you missing the opportunity to participate in auction for particular names. So, and a couple of these are going to go to auction right after the show airs, like within a day or two. So, all right, well, let's see what the deal is. I had an order of who was who on. I think we were starting with Drew. I think there's 18 names total, so you can talk about 6 before I shut the mic off and move it along. Yeah, what do you like? What don't you like? What catches your eye? What is good?
I think I really only like two names on here. Maybe,
Okay.
you know, there's three. I like, probably my favorite name is mylist.com. Just because that can be used for so many different things. You know, and I've done well with my names. So I like mylist.com a lot. I like electrico.com just kind of as a brand.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Is
probably a little too Latino, Spanish, but I don't know. I feel like it's still, you know, it's basically electric with an O on the end. So, I mean, basically non-Spanish speaking people can still spell that and understand what it is, and insinuate, you know, the sort of branding.
I think it got renewed. Somebody
really?
want to check? I think it's gone.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I mean, I literally did this list like 7 hours ago.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, never mind.
I checked this morning. Pull it up real quick to see if it's still there. I think it's gone.
All right. Well, then in the meantime, Drew, you can keep it moving so that it's.
And then the other one I like is partslocator.com. I don't know. I'm a little shocked it doesn't have more search volume, because I am quite certain that that's actually in the industry. Like, that's what you say. But I like that name a lot because it's a pretty big business. So I think that could.
Electrico is still up there, so it hasn't.
It is
been
still
renewed. Yep. Unless you were just trying to throw
Yeah,
that
no,
out there to get
I'm
everybody
looking
off the
at it, the
scent.
who is, and it's still pending renewal.
So
there's a pending renew landing page, but I couldn't find it on Namejet.
Yeah, no, it's there. I mean, check the link from the sheet. Check the Excel sheet. You get it early.
That's strange. I just went to Namejet and searched it, and I couldn't. Okay.
Oh no,
All
you
right.
know what?
Use the sheet.
Well, it did get renewed. It did get renewed, but
I'm saying
JT, you're the one with the insider knowledge. If a name is expiring,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pre-release because it's it's a Network Solutions name. It's pre-release namejet.
Yep.
Will they renew it once there's a back order and it goes to auction?
No. So not until it's not at this point they wouldn't, I mean, that's part of the process. Well, yeah, once it goes to auction, they will, but they wouldn't do it. This is the closing time for the back order period on this domain is the 4th of June. So we're still a few days out, so they would not have renewed it yet. Unless they've changed.
Okay, well, it did get renewed.
So then it's possible it'll fall off. Like what the system does is, and this is if it's still the same way that it used to be, is that it would update like twice a day as far as when it would effectively take the information from the database and then update the site accordingly. So the front end could be behind the back end by a few hours. So
okay.
So that might be what the deal is. So anyway,
got it.
But so then we won't waste a lot of time on it. But is electrico the Spanish word for electric?
Electrical.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a great name.
Exactly.
I jumped on
Exactly.
it. That's why I looked it up.
Exactly. Like auto eléctrico would be electric car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that's what's up. All right. So, and then you said, so those were your 3 sort of top picks. Is there a name on the list that you think will go for more than you think it's worth?
Probably my list will go for more than it's worth. Probably, I don't know. I mean, there's more name. I mean, metalworking is also decent. I don't know. The one that'll go for more than it's worth is probably like.
It's all good.
I don't know.
A lot of dead air.
I don't know.
A lot of dead air. I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably
I thought he froze.
Probably
Exactly.
Pasha, P with an E. That's probably going to go for more than it's worth.
Yeah, that one I thought was kind of interesting because I wasn't sure. It's posh, right? And it's like almost a misspelling of
It's like posh, except that it's not.
Well, I didn't know if that was a version of the word that you might see. Poshe. Actually, when you type it
posh,
in, it's
if it was POSH, that's a 7-figure name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I will not confirm nor deny.
7 figures.
I will not confirm nor deny that it sold for 7 figures recently. But just add an E, and he's able a lot of money.
I mean, we had that was a historical moment in DomainSherpa history. I went hard on Josh to buy Posh.com from him on this show live, and he held up, and it paid out. I mean, I offered him. I don't remember where I stopped. I think 275 was the highest offer I made him.
Yeah, like 250, I think.
Yeah,
Something
and
like
then
that.
he
said
turned
no.
around and he sold it. Yeah,
Hey?
He said no. He held to his guns, stuck to his guns.
Diamond hands.
Yeah, well done, Josh.
He made the right call.
Yep, he sure did.
All right, so Braden, what else on for the list? What about you? I know you started to talk about electrico. What else do you like or don't like on the list?
Yeah, electrical would have been great because I like anything electric, right? Just everything EV, everything happening with electricity and wireless electricity and electric cars and anything related to that. And there's so many companies and software, whatever, related to that industry, those multiple industries.
Yep.
I like all those terms, and so that would have been good.
Braden was the first person I know at least the first person I ever drove in an electric car with ever was Braden.
Oh wow, look at that! See, that's
which one?
That's a fun fact.
Fisker. That was the Fisker, yeah.
Yeah, the Fisker. Yeah, that was a good car.
Fisker Karma.
I like Ramekin.
Ramekin, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I own
had to Google
Craft.com.
that. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just it's that little. It's like when you. It's a little ceramic
thing.
dish.
My wife makes the volcano brownies in.
Creme brulee, you know what I'm saying, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You get a little.
You fancy, man. You fancy.
Like a small La Croissant or whatever. What's that?
Yeah, you could have your croissant.
No, what is it? The La Crusade? That.
La Crusade.
Le Crusade. Yeah, they have like they have the steel pots and things that are like really,
and then they make little ones too.
Iron, not steel. Iron.
Cast iron.
Iron cast iron. Yeah, sorry.
Cast iron decorated.
So the ramekin,
get your bougie up. Get your
I know
bougie
you
up.
guys are super
You haven't
fancy,
bought a
dude.
set for your wife? Oh, you have no shot.
I
Yeah.
mean, nah,
But
man.
I like it because it's a dish. Like I think carafe I own carafe, which is better.
Yep.
But I don't know if I've ever even got an offer on that. And
How
ramekins
many
probably.
R's, how many F's?
That's how much
Yo,
better it is.
Yeah, that's like Jay-Z. That's like Jay-Z be like, yo, I'm the tallest midget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
In the song, he's like,
I'm just
I
being
mean,
it's like pine trees. It's
HR.
like it's a decent deal, but are you ever gonna sell it? Ramekins the same thing. Will you ever sell it? I don't know. Who's gonna use it? Even though it's a dish, it's like not enough people know the word.
What
like
about it as a brand
carafe
name?
is more well known and nobody
what
wants
about
it.
as a brand name, Ramekin? I
Sounds
feel
like
like
a
that's
hand-
like a cool, that I think could be cool. As opposed
Possibly.
to selling actual ramekins. I mean, it's singular, right?
Oh yeah,
versus
it's not
plural.
it's not an EMD, but I mean I'm comparing it to carafe because more people know carafe, right?
Sure.
Like a
I
coffee
feel like it
carafe
could
or
be
whatever.
like a
but
punk rock
nobody's
band.
Ramekin.
Yeah, Ramekin.
All right.
smashing ramekins.
Smashing ramekins. Yeah. Today was the greatest. All
Dish
right.
I've ever
So
had.
I don't have the list in front of me, but I also like my list and which will go for too much, probably. And honestly, I'm not in front of my computer. Quick side note. So half hour before the show, all the power went out in my neighborhood, like the whole
wow.
neighborhood. And so I was like, well, shit, what do I? And there's no cellular in my neighborhood.
Like
So-
going to an electric car.
So I was like, all right, I'll just drive out of the neighborhood and go sit and park, which is what I did. But I couldn't open my garage door. I had to like release it, get a ladder, and push the garage door up. And then I'm driving out. My gate wouldn't open.
Oh.
I had to like
I
manually
hate when my gate doesn't
disengage the
open.
gate and open it. It's a whole we use electricity for a lot of stuff.
yeah. You realize
It was
how
a
bad you
whole
need it when you don't
ordeal.
have it.
Ordeal. So, but I made it. On
I
time.
said,
No,
open the gate. Oh gosh, the button's not working.
Well, I'm glad, man. I'm glad you went through the effort. And so, all right. So, okay.
We'll give you some. Hold on. Let's give you some names. There's Capos, Capos.
Capos.
You know what I like that
No.
nobody's going to talk about is Prios, Prios.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
Kind
know
of
if it
just
was,
sounds Greek goddish.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know, you'd get a lot of misspelling, sort of
Prius.
Prius stuff, is kind of what I thought. And I actually wanted to add that one to specifically ask the question, for a name like that isn't truly like, trademark infringing, right? Because it by itself, it's, sort of brandable. Does it have value like in that way, right? I mean, it's a name that doesn't have, it's 5 characters, it's pronounceable. Like Drew said, it kind of invokes the idea of like maybe some sort of Greek god or some kind of thing like that. But largely a lot of your search and traffic, activity is going to be based around, the misspelling of the word Prius. So, so a name like that, do you not even pay any attention to it unless you're, have a, okay. So do any of you guys from a strategic standpoint?
I buy that as a brandable.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's a brandable as well, but it have to be in a marketplace, right? Because it'll never get found. You got to put it in Squad Helper, Man Bucket, or wherever, and not park it. Because if you park it, what you're going to get is you're going to get ads. You're going to get corrected Prius ads, right, on the parking page, and that's when you're going to get yourself into trouble. So I would be careful with parking it. Plus, you'll never sell it if you park it anyway. It's got to be in a marketplace, something like that.
Okay.
My 2 cents. A Prius just drove by me.
Oh,
Was it Larry David?
Hey, check this out. There's actually, so if you go to principles. Now that I just Googled to see what Prios could mean, but you go to principles.com, not the LES spelling, not the ALS spelling. And you get the Ray Dalio changing the world order principles of, whatever. And that's the entity that is Prios LLC. So they're using that as a company name.
Who? Dalio?
Well, I don't know if it's him or it's someone selling his book, you know what I mean? So, but on principles.com is the site where it's being sold. So if you go to principles.com, that's And the
That's Dalio, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the LLC is Prios.com.
Principles is Ray Dalio's website.
Yeah, so then his LLC is Prios. So now we just added a bunch of value to that. So there you go.
Yeah, so that name is now worth 6 figures.
Namejet, you're welcome. See, so happy to help. Yeah, so that's what's up.
I hear Drew's keyboard right now.
He's like, how can I? He's like, stop the tape.
He's
Billy,
not
Billy,
kidding.
edit.
He's texting Billy right now. You're gonna edit that shit out.
Dead. Gone. All right, so cool. So I think then that kind of answers the question. So then from a strategy standpoint, you guys ever grab names that you think you're gonna get searched based on a misspelling or any of that stuff? I mean, sort of, that kind of erroneous type-in traffic. Is that,
Yeah, I was all over that NOAA.com until I realized that the National Organization of Atmospheric
aeronautics or whatever.
Yeah. They actually have like 20 trademarks on that. So
you and I went through that. We did.
I was bidding. It was me and Siger, and then somebody went over the top on both of us.
Well, and that was the combo that you and I had, where it was like, hey, when you look at all
the
trade,
and they actually have it. They've got it dialed in. Like they've got it.
I'm really
they have
surprised.
like 10 trademarks on it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they let
shocked.
that. Because obviously they were utilizing it, even if they were redirecting it, but the site's pretty legit. Obviously tons of people use the tools for different things that matter, and they've got a bunch of trademarks. I mean, they actually had. So I was surprised that that's why when it's funny because I saw Mike tweeting about it, and I was going to chime in and didn't want to necessarily kind of wade into all that stuff, but But yeah, I mean, I think that's going to come around where someone's going to realize that they screwed up. I'm shocked that they don't know already, because usually when Elliot posts that kind of stuff, it kind of gets through to people. But I don't know. Anyway,
you done fucked up, Ron.
You done fucked up, Ron.
I avoid
Oshak Hennessy's office.
Anything that's a typo or potential trademark, I avoid.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I buy generic stuff, and everything generic is, somebody's got a trademark on it. But I mean, but I can lean on the fact that it's a generic word. But anything that's obviously a trademark issue, I avoid it. I don't need the hassle.
Yeah, but this wasn't a corporate thing. This was government. This was NOAA, right? And so, like I have actually had a lot of success with some of the other 3 and 4 letter government agency domains that were not trademarked. And so I was really shocked to see how many trademarks they actually had for this one.
Yeah. But
I guess it's because there is actually a lot of commercial applications for the NOAA. Like when I was in the seafood business, we used a lot of their data. I was on the board of the Scallop Association. We got the North Atlantic Scallop Fishery Sustainable Certified with what was the name of that organization? It's what you see at Whole Foods for all the different.
Oh, it's bullshit.org, right? That's the
exactly.
the certification.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. And
I'd love to be part of the Scallop Association meetings.
Yeah.
Oh man, you have no idea.
They crown the King Scallop every every.
Are we still meeting over here?
Listen. You guys have no idea. People are like, "Why are you so jaded? Why is he a tough guy?" And it's like, if you had any idea. Where I cut my teeth.
Elected to a position in the Scallops Association.
Yeah, it's like, hey, how you doing? We got the scallop truck. Hey,
we have Roy. Roy is the king. Roy, what was his last name? Roy. I don't remember his last name right now. But
Does
Roy,
he have a nickname.
King Scallop.
He is truly the king of the scallop world. Like this dude, literally, and you have no idea. People have no clue who this guy is. He could walk into. He'd be the richest man in the room, with the exception of like maybe 500 people in America. Like he was a billionaire in the 90s already when I was, I guess early 2000s when
a billion meant something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Back when a billion meant something. Exactly. Back when it was real money.
Big B, not little B.
Yeah. This dude, he was balling, man. I remember Roy rolled up in a brand new Rolls Royce to the Scallop Association meeting.
Roy rolled up in a Rolls Royce. There's like, what I'm saying? That's like the quick brown fox jumped over the.
Then a bird shit on it and he threw it away.
he was a immigrant, like this dude built an empire, man. He basically owns the entire New Bedford, Massachusetts waterfront, which is the #1 highest grossing port in America. Nobody knows that, but they actually outcompete Alaska, which is the #2 highest grossing port in America, or at least those were the numbers back in the day. I have no idea what they are today.
Wow. Man. All right. Well, so yeah, NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association.
He was a Viking.
I said the aeronautics would be NASA.
Around.
All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, that was interesting around Prios. I think that was so I think that name becomes a little bit more interesting for sure when you
I like veterinary.org. There was also another decent name on there.
Well, yeah. So
we let it run now.
Yeah, Shane. So what else? No, well, you were going to talk about a few, and you were giving Braden a couple to talk about as well.
Oh yeah, no, I think we probably all agree. I think the one thing is Invisible Friends you put up there, because obviously it's an NFT project that's been pretty successful. So we know where that should end up.
Have you noticed how all the NFT project domain names have been coming up for auction lately?
That's messed up.
It's kind of crazy. Hashmass, Pudgy Penguins, Invisible Friends. There was another one. These are all like in a short period of time.
That's because they would have passed through. They've always been coming up. The difference is they're actually real
You're
names
noticing
now.
them now, and that the actual projects themselves, very few are grabbing .coms to kick off. They're starting with their IOs and everything else, and
But who's like letting that domain expire? You know what I mean? Like,
well,
the dude who bought it to sell it to the project. That's who let it expire, and the project didn't buy it from that guy. It's those damn domain squatters.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to buy ape jacket since you own an ape? You want to buy ape jacket?
Oh man, yeah. The emails are interesting to say the least. All right, well, what else, Shane? What else on the list? Anything else that you like or don't like?
I thought veterinary.org was a pretty strong name. Somebody's definitely going to do well with pet medicines. I know it's super generic, but if there's only
the word it's not even it literally is the wrong spelling. Now there's a lot of stupid people, so a lot of people will spell it wrong.
Is medicine spelled wrong?
No, it just shouldn't be medicines. It should be medicine. Medicine is plural.
It is plural. That's true. You're right.
Yeah, but
there's different. There's
like
different
fish
usage.
and fishes.
Yeah, but I think people say
you can say fishes. It just tells me how stupid you are.
True.
But will medicines plural play in India, for example, which they don't speak American English. They speak their own English, right? And I mean, I see stuff. I'm like, that's not right. And then I see it sell, and it's used in India. I'm like, I guess they speak that way in India.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm looking at, what are the 4 types of medicines? What are common medicines? Do they say what are common medicine? Is that how you would say?
It's definitely not fishes. It's not fishes.
You know what I mean? I think it's, you know what I'm saying? I think
you're right. You're right.
I think there's some things in and around the vernacular that I think you're underestimating, as far as, even on the FDA.
I guarantee America's not smart enough to know that's not plural.
Dude, on the FDA website.
Here's the deal. Number one rule in domaining: if you have to explain something, you already lost, right?
I know. I get
and
that.
It's like the fact that we're even having this conversation tells me this domain is worthless.
But you started it. I didn't have a problem with it.
The FDA website has a disposal of unused medicines. What you should know, and then there's
It's not the domain.
Point in case. How stupid is the FDA?
I was going to say the WHO has it too, where they use it.
The domain is not worthless; it's worth less.
Yes.
Ooh,
that's so
beautiful. That's great. That's like
that is definitely going on my Prius.
Ooh, I like that on your Prius.
Young Hasselhoff coming through.
Young Hasselhoff with like some wisdom. The domain is not worthless; it's worth less. I like that a lot. I mean,
that's a new Bradenism right there.
That's really great, man. That's good work.
I just came up with it.
JT's gonna put that in a rap track.
Yeah, that's good.
You ain't worthless. You just worth less.
Oh, seriously, that's poignant. I like it a lot. All right, yeah, I think we've pretty much covered almost everything. Germanmusic.com. Any interest? German music.
You ever listen to German music?
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to German music?
Yeah, the Congo saws in town.
Because just for the record, like I got a German wife, and I spent a lot of holidays in Germany listening to a lot of German music. me tell you something about worthless. Like that
Oh man.
Come on, Falco. Come on, Falco in the 80s.
Yeah.
Hey, one of my buddies in grad school was he was fluent in
Rock
German
Me,
because
I'ma
he spent
Dance.
a bunch of time living in and around Berlin, and there was some hip hop.
Shout out Fantastischen Vier.
Yeah, that's who I was gonna say. The Fantastic Four, the Fantastischen Vier.
So the lead singer of Fantastischen Vier is literally the brother of one of my good friends here, and literally lives up my street.
No way. That's what's up,
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
yeah.
So he would play me like, cause we went to Berlin for a week. He was trying putting me on to all the music and stuff. That was
So
that's really
Fantastischen
crazy.
Vier,
See?
and their best song is actually called Anna, my wife's name. So it's
Okay.
Anna. Oh man, I wish I could remember the lyric, but it's like so von hinten wie von vorne, like because you spell it the same way from the front as from the back.
Okay. All right.
But anyways, that's a great track. Anna,
See?
ANNA.
See?
But the
Look at
point
that.
is that German music is up there with German food. Or down there, maybe I should say.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're a vegan,
So
then
hold on,
yes.
let's go through who we haven't offended before we leave. We can get the rest of the people.
It's like, yeah, I mean, we're trying to check any
That's
boxes
really
before we
cut
shut it
people
down.
we haven't.
Back when I
got
actually
some
ate
people.
when I ate meat, Germany was like epic food. But put you out, take a 4-hour nap type of stuff. And then
Meat sweats.
Really? Because that's healthy.
It's like, oh, it's the best meal ever. I didn't even get off the table. I just passed out into my plate.
Right. It's because you pass out for the rest of the day because it's healthy. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Because it's meat
Right.
sweats,
That's
baby.
your body shuts down.
Meat sweats. Let's go.
listen, why do you think lions sleep so much?
That's true.
You know?
That's true. They
So,
just lounge in the
Fun
sun.
fact: lions.
Not a
sleep
lot of
lot.
German restaurants around.
No, I'm not a
No,
huge German. I'm not a German food guy
No.
myself.
But they did invent the Bratkartoffeln, and that is basically the best food on the planet.
Which is what? What is Bratkartoffeln?
Well, you could do the vegan version, which is without the minced pork pieces. But
Can we talk
It's
about what
basically
the minced
thinly
pork piece is,
sliced-
what that is? We talk about that?
thinly sliced. It's thinly sliced potatoes, very very finely chopped onions. You saute the onions for a while until they're like crispy and salt and caramelized, but not
Delicious.
caramelized soft, like crispy kind of.
Mm.
Then you throw the potatoes in there. I think there's a little garlic powder, maybe salt, and you brown the potatoes and you keep flipping them, and man, it's just the best. They're
He
just
just
the
made
best.
hash browns.
But what about
I'm telling
Just
you,
made potato
like
chips.
home fries.
Trust me. I hear you. In America, we've got home fries, but those things are like little triangles or little cubes. You got to do it paper thin potato slices.
Potato pancake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
So-
got to have a woman with hair like
Oh, there
hey.
we go.
Hey, I don't even know. Even if you're not about to say something offensive, we're just gonna keep it moving. Everyone we all just
Peggy
start
Bundy?
making crazy
You
noises.
need a
Was it
woman
Peggy
that's
Bundy?
ugly and
No, you need
German.
Peggy Bundy to cook that shit for you. And then
I don't think Peggy
it is
Bundy
so
could cook,
good.
man. I mean, you've
This
watched
show
Married
is
with
not
Children.
helping
She
I
my
know,
couldn't
career.
cook.
but she inspired an entire generation of hair in Germany.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I feel you. Hey.
Drew, did you get beat up a lot when you were a kid?
No,
Just asking.
no, there was this one kid. Listen, here's what I'm
Billy's
going to
gonna
say
wanna
to
raise.
all of you. Here's what I'm going to say to all of you and to the audience at large. I came into this show. I was in a very foul mood today. I literally wanted to just punch somebody in the teeth. I was in a very bad mood. And now I'm in a very, light mood. I'm laughing
good.
about Hershey squirts.
Yay.
So, look, there's a
If
lot to be
Nobody
said
gets
about.
anything out of this. Drew did.
Yep.
Drew enjoyed this one, everyone. So
Drew, I just want everybody to know that Drew.
Thank you for tuning in. All
had
right,
a
so
great
I
show.
think we pretty much closed out the list. We've literally talked about them all. Portchester.com, is a town, right? I mean, there's Portchesters out there, and then
Yep.
teardrops.com is the last name on the list.
Yeah, I actually.
and
think that
secure
one would
messaging.
be-
What about secure messaging? That one.
Well,
Oh
hold
yeah, I
on.
like that one.
Teardrop. Now, secure messaging is too generic. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's like
It's all right.
WhatsApp is gonna rebrand to securemessaging.com. You know what I
That's
mean?
fair. Fair point.
So, but teardrops.com is like the ideal name for a social network for like murdering gangbangers.
Oh,
you know, hear me out. You know what I mean? Like they get
See
the
that one
teardrop.
coming.
You get the teardrop.
by the
for
way,
every
you
kill.
had like you really sold that because for a minute I'm like, oh, he's about to drop some alpha here, and then you
Yeah.
just took it where you took it. So I did think that about the teardrop, like tattoos and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, each teardrop represents, you know, somebody you killed.
I was thinking augmentation, but that tells you where we're thinking.
yeah, I was thinking that it's probably time we shut it down. So
Yeah.
look, I just appreciate you guys being on the show today. This was good. It's always good spending time with, you know, and being able to, you know, do what we do and share the information we're able to share. I think there's some nuggets in all of this chaos that would hopefully be helpful. And then
Do you think we've been doing this for almost 2 hours now? Do you think Billy will get more than say 15, 16 minutes out of this?
I think he will. He'll figure it out.
I think
Okay.
that
All right.
should be the clip. That should be the clip. Let people know what they should expect.
Hey, like, yeah, lead with this. This one gets a little off the rails today, guys. But hey, no, look, this was good as always. And I appreciate you guys taking the time and being on here. Drew, I'm glad we could help you get into a better mood. To the audience, I want to say thank y'all. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I say it on every show. Without you, there's no us. And so, yeah, just hit us up. You got questions, comments. Shout out to Leanne, by the way, you know, who posted the air. Did you guys see the Airtable thing that she did? I just wanted to mention, I probably should have mentioned that earlier as opposed to 2 hours in when most people will tuned out a long time ago.
Right.
But we had the conversation here. I forget who was on the original show, but you know, we talked about how we manage some of the inventory and whatnot. We talked about how we use Airtable. So she kind of did like a deep dive, did a little video, posted that, we retweeted it and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool. You know, so it was neat. Like, you know, we kind of shared a little bit about how we do what we do. And then, you know, that helped spur some conversation and, you know, jumping down the rabbit hole. And I thought that was kind of a neat, you know, exercise. And, you know, so hopefully people even got value out of that. So shout out to all y'all. Appreciate you guys. Hit us up again. Anything you want to ask us, tell us, all good. Otherwise, we'll catch you here next time on Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Peace out, everybody.